A Brioni suit and a suit supply suit hang before you, and both can reshape how the world sees you, but only one delivers real value for your money. That $500 suit and its $5,000 counterpart might look nearly identical on the rack, but the differences run far deeper than most people imagine, and they are not always what you would expect. The truth about expensive suits will catch you off guard. While fashion often trades on intangible elements like brand prestige and social status, the money you spend on quality tailoring shows up in very real ways through fabric construction, manufacturing techniques, and highly individualized cuts. But here is the twist that surprises everyone. Sometimes that $500 suit will actually outlast its luxury counterpart. Let's start with what you can't see but will definitely feel: construction. This is where the real battle between cheap and expensive suits gets fought, and it happens in layers most people never know exist. Inside every suit jacket lives a hidden skeleton called canvas. Think of it as your home's foundation, because everything else depends on how solid this base is. Manufacturers can build this foundation 3 different ways, and each one dramatically affects both the price and the performance of your suit. The cheapest method is fused construction, which you'll find in roughly 95% of off-the-rack suits. Here, manufacturers use heat and glue to bond fabric layers together. It's fast, it's cheap, and it gets the job done. But that glue becomes the suit's weakness. Over time, dry cleaning and normal wear break down the adhesive, creating what tailors call bubbling, ugly pockets where the fabric separates. A fused suit typically survives 1 to 3 years before this bubbling appears, and once it starts, there is no fixing it. The middle ground is half-canvas construction. Here, a proper canvas layer gets sewn, not glued, into the top half of the jacket, covering the chest, lapels, and down to the pockets. The lower half remains fused, and that is fine since the drape is not as critical there. This construction gives you better shape retention and allows the jacket to mold to your body over time. With proper care, a half-canvas suit can last 5 to 7 years. At the top sits full canvas construction, where a complete canvas layer runs from the shoulders to the hem. This canvas typically comes from horsehair, camel hair, and cotton, natural fibers that each bring unique properties. Horsehair takes and holds shape, but it feels stiff. Camel hair, used in premium suits costing $3,000 and up, feels softer and more comfortable, but it costs more. This construction allows the suit to move and breathe with your body, actually improving its fit over time. A full canvas suit can easily last 10 years or more. There is a simple test to check which type you are buying. Pinch the fabric at the chest between your thumb and forefinger and pull the layers apart slightly. In a canvased suit, you will feel 3 distinct layers. In a fused suit, you will feel just 2. It is like the difference between a house built on concrete versus one built on sand. But here's where things get interesting. Savile Row, that legendary London street representing the pinnacle of tailoring, requires its member tailors to put at least 50 hours of hand labor into each 2-piece suit. Many take 60 to 80 hours. A full canvas jacket alone requires 40 to 60 hours of intensive handwork. Compare that to luxury brand Brioni, where each suit takes 22 hours of handwork, or Kiton's ultra-premium K50 suit, which takes 50 hours. But only 5 tailors in the company are qualified to make it. Meanwhile, Neapolitan tailoring houses like Cesare Attolini represent another pinnacle of Italian craftsmanship, known for their soft shoulder construction and unstructured approach that rivals Rome's more formal styling. This brings us to fabric, where the numbers on the label tell a fascinating story of luxury, durability, and marketing deception. Those super numbers you see, Super 100s, Super 150s, Super 220s, refer to the fineness of the worsted wool fiber. The number comes from an old measurement about how many hanks of wool, each 560 yards long, can be spun from 1 pound of raw wool. Super 100 wool has fibers about 18.5 microns in diameter. Super 150 drops to 16 microns. The higher the number, the finer the fiber, and the softer the fabric feels. But here is the paradox that catches many buyers off guard. Finer does not always mean better. Those ultra-fine Super 220s fibers, which can cost $1,000 per yard wholesale, are actually more fragile than their coarser cousins. One buyer recalls purchasing a beautiful Canali Super 160 suit that draped magnificently but tore when the sleeve caught on a doorframe during just the third or fourth wear. The sweet spot for most people sits between Super 100s and Super 130s. These fabrics offer excellent comfort and appearance while maintaining durability for regular wear. Go higher, and you are buying fabric better suited for special occasions than daily business use. Super 220s wool might feel like silk, but it requires the care of a museum piece. The fabric mills themselves tell their own stories of tradition and innovation. Vitale Barberi's Canonico, established in 1663, holds the title of the world's oldest operating textile mill. Loro Piana, now owned by LVMH, controls everything from sheep to suit. They are vertically integrated, and they are the world's largest cashmere manufacturer. They even saved the vicuna, an alpaca-like creature from the Andes, from extinction while harvesting its incredibly fine wool. Italian mills like Zegna and Loro Piana prioritize softness and fluid drape. English mills emphasize structure and durability, with fabric merchants like Holland and Sherry providing premium woolens to Savile Row's finest tailors. French houses like Dormoy, founded in 1842, blend elegance with robustness. Each tradition produces distinctly different fabrics, but all can create exceptional suits when properly constructed. The manufacturing costs reveal why these suits command such different prices. In Italy, labor costs average 41,000 euros per year for nationally controlled enterprises, and nearly 60,000 euros per year for foreign-controlled ones. Compare that to China, where manufacturing labor runs about $6.50 per hour, or to countries like India, Mexico, and Vietnam, which have become the new low-cost leaders. But labor costs only tell part of the story. A Savile Row analysis found that production costs account for about 33% of the final retail price, which is double the 13 to 20% typical in most retail. When you pay £4,800 for a Savile Row suit, roughly £1,565 goes into actual production costs. The rest covers overhead, expertise, prestige, and profit. This brings us to perhaps the most important factor, FET. And here is where expensive does not always mean better looking. Mark Zuckerberg was famously photographed testifying to Congress in what appeared to be a high-end, fully canvassed suit that likely cost over $2,000. It looked awful because it did not fit properly. Meanwhile, a well-fitted $500 suit can make someone look like $1 million. The challenge with cheaper custom suits lies in movement. They might look great when you are standing still, but many fall apart functionally when you try to walk, sit, or eat normally. Eating with your right hand can pull the left shoulder, creating collar gaps and restricting arm movement. A $5,000 bespoke suit accounts for these movements during multiple fittings with trained tailors. The timeline of suit development shows how we got here. Fused construction became popular in the 20th century with mass production and synthetic adhesives. The Savile Row Bespoke Association was not founded until 2004 to protect traditional techniques. Brands like Brioni appeared in 1945 and Keaton in 1968. They built luxury empires on handcraft traditions that are centuries old. But luxury has its own problems. A 2024 investigation uncovered labor exploitation in Italian luxury manufacturing, where subcontractor employees slept at their workplace just to ensure they were available 24 hours a day. Safety devices were removed from machines to speed production, cutting costs to as little as €53 for handbags that retail for €2,600. The Made in Italy label has become controversial. Legal loopholes allow products with minimal Italian involvement to carry the prestigious label, often made in factories using Chinese labor in areas like Prato and Florence. The traditional craftsmanship that justifies premium prices sometimes exists more in marketing than reality. Modern innovations are changing the game entirely. Zegna's Tech Merino and Dormui's Excel feature wrinkle and water resistance. Temperature-regulating fabrics adapt to body heat. Retta Active offers machine-washable wool. These advances ensure suits perform as well as they look, bridging the gap between traditional luxury and practical necessity. The super numbers themselves face credibility issues. Any mill can slap Super 200 on fabric and call it premium. There is no enforcement, no certification, and plenty of marketing fluff. Some mills use short staple fibers that technically meet micron requirements, but create unstable cloth that wrinkles if you look at it wrong. Others apply super ratings to synthetic blends that bear no resemblance to quality wool. The rule of thumb is trust the mill's reputation, not the number. A Super 120 from a respected mill like Vitale Barberis Canonico will outperform a Super 150 from an unknown importer every single time. Training to make these suits requires serious commitment. Savile Row apprenticeships take 4 to 6 years for cutting specialists, 3 to 5 years for coat makers, and 2 to 3 years for trouser experts. That expertise shows in details you can spot if you know what to look for. A $5,000 suit typically features hand-padded shoulders and surgeon's cuffs, working buttonholes that can actually be unbuttoned, a hallmark of genuine bespoke tailoring. When you flip open the lapel, you will see irregular stitches made by hand rather than by machine. The canvas feels soft and flexible, more like a sweater than stiff interfacing. These details create comfort and drape that machine construction cannot match. The price ranges today span an almost absurd spectrum. Entry-level suit supply starts around $500 off the rack, $700 made to measure. Department store options run $800 to $1,200 with basic alterations. Ready-to-wear Brioni costs $4,500 to $11,500. Savile Row bespoke starts around 4,600 pounds, but can reach 10,000 pounds or more. At the extreme end sit suits like Brioni Vanquish, 2 Collection at $43,000, Keaton K50 at $60,000, and Desmond Marion Supreme Bespoke Couture starting at 50,000 pounds, excluding value-added tax. Those prices reflect materials, craftsmanship, and exclusivity that borders on the absurd. The lifespan equation changes everything about value calculations. A fused suit might last 1 to 3 years. A half canvas suit can go 5 to 7 years with proper care. A full canvas suit from premium fabric can easily last 15 years or more. Suddenly, that $5,000 investment looks different when spread over decades rather than seasons. But the most expensive materials do not always last longest. Those ultra-fine Super 200s fibers might feel incredible, but they are more delicate than coarser alternatives. A Super 120 suit worn regularly might outlast a Super 180 suit saved for special occasions. Think about durability, not just the headline fiber number. The current custom suit market offers options from around $800 to over $8,000, each with different levels of customization, fabric quality, and construction methods. The democratization of custom clothing through online platforms has made decent tailoring more accessible, though fit and movement challenges remain for lower-priced options. Understanding canvas improvement over time reveals another dimension of value. A canvassed suit actually gets better with wear, molding to your body and improving its fit. It is like breaking in quality leather shoes. The initial investment pays dividends in comfort and appearance over years of wear. think of canvas as an investment that improves. For most men seeking good value, the $500 to $1,500 range offers the sweet spot between quality and price in today's market. This gets you decent construction, acceptable fabrics, and reasonable fit, enough to look professional without breaking the bank. The difference between a $500 suit and a $5,000 suit comes down to construction methods, fabric quality, amount of handwork, and attention to detail. These translate to noticeable differences in comfort, drape, longevity, and overall appearance, especially after multiple wearings. Whether those differences justify a tenfold price increase depends entirely on your priorities, budget, and how you plan to use the suit. Focus on construction when you are weighing options. The most important lesson is simple. A well-fitted $500 suit will always look better than a poorly fitted $5,000 suit. Focus on fit first, construction second, and fabric third. Everything else is just expensive window dressing. Emphasize fait above all else.